What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we have none other than the Voltron Defender of the Universe Robo-Dou Voltron by none other than ThreeZero. So we've been waiting on this figure for a few months now, and since we've gotten this figure, I've got to say it's very impressive. Everything about this figure just works, like all of it. Everything works. What you heard about the die cast and this and that, and it's not as heavy as the Solo Chogokin. When I get through with this review, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this figure and how much this figure shits on just about everything that comes out. Damn Skippy, I said it. This is, for this size, the best Voltron ever made. All the other Voltrons that you got right now are shit compared to this, including Solo Chogokin, and I'll tell you why. And when we go through this review, I'm going to explain everything, because I don't think a lot of people who review this figure understand what Solo Chogokin is trying to do, and they really just missed the mark. And they had me with a different expectation when I got this figure, but when I picked it up, dealing with other types of Chogokin type figures and understanding that not everything needs to just be heavy metal, and you're going to see why this toy works and does so much. So the box is a window box. I don't even want to talk about the box. Not that anything is bad. The box is very nice. It's just that I don't want to move the lines out the way. It opens up and has a window. Mine was packaged upside down. Scared the shit out of me. As you know, I had problems with my last Voltron. Anyway, we're ready to go. So we're going to start with the smallest lines, the arms. So this is the green line. As you can see here, you can put the number if you want to, but you know, in the cartoon, they didn't have any damn numbers. All right. Now he does come with these accessories, and the accessories that this figure comes with is going to be the mouth blade, and the way that the mouth blades fit into the mouth, there's a groove, and this is for all of them except for the black lion. I don't understand how that happened, but for each lion, there's a groove at the top of the mouth. I don't know if I can access it or not, but you kind of can see it, and that's where the weapon is going to go. So it'll be just one moment here, and you put it back in there, and that's how they fit. But the black lion is the only one that doesn't have it. Now, I start with the green line first. The green line has these accessories on here where you flip this up, and that's one of the weapons. I forgot the name of the weapons. Please don't ask me. This is like some kind of star shield, and then this is some kind of like photon cannon. Matter of fact, now I can read it right now since y'all boys gonna give me grief about it. That is a laser cannon, and then the other part is a shooting star. So the lions actually can extend their head. They can move them like this, as you can see here. Of course, because of the articulation, they can do that. Of course, the mouth opens. Now, the legs, they do kind of turn a little bit here. And I don't know why they're not turning, but they do. They're supposed to, like, they're on, like, articulated, like on a weird hinge. And the back legs do open up as well, as you can see here. They open up just a little bit. The tails do come off, so there's a tiny bit of parts for me. I mean, if that's gonna bother you, well, you know, tough cookie. But yeah, this is how the lion looks in the lion mode for the green lion. And like I said, the articulation is going to be the same for the red lion, but we're going to just show it off so you can get a close-up view of it. Here's the face of the lion right there. And yeah, he looks good. Moving on to the red lion. And he comes with his own blade right here that you put in his mouth. And again, it's the same thing. Now, these do have, this is a lot of plastic and some metal. I think the metal is here because it is a little cold touch. But other than that, this is mostly a high quality plastic. He has a similar situation here where you flip this up and this opens up. And of course, he has the guns here that go on the side. And all of them have individual weapons. It's a nice lot of accessories here. So, and the same thing, back legs do the same thing. They articulate the same way. And like I said before, we're going to go over transformation and then mainly just comparison. But this is basically the red line. Now that's number, I don't know what number it is, because like I said, in the cartoon, they didn't have numbers. It's just on the original Matchbox figure, they had number. And this will happen with him in particular, because they did not make that connection like the other two. Now the next one we're going to show off is the blue line. It's a favorite of a friend of mine. And this thing is nice, man. Now this is where all the die cast and metal are. Believe it or not, it's in the legs. Two things we will note about the legs. They are a little bit shorter than most of the Voltron. So Solo Chogokin, this is pretty much there. The lions are longer. This is a very important piece to remember with the blue and yellow lines because of their size, how well this figure is proportioned. And we're going to get to that. So this is the blue line. You have the space to put your number if you want. Now the legs will flail out as you push the head down. And it's the same thing here. His mouth is open. And they have a weapon here that you can lift up, but it is impossible to do because these teeth are sharp. Okay, so okay. But it's there. You could do it. Probably need like a little spudger or something they can knock up. And this is his mouth blade again. Fits directly on top of the mouth here. And like I said, I'm very careful with this figure because I'm not buying this again. This is $300 well spent. The back legs kind of flail out a little bit. And you have to be careful because they are on ball joints and they can come off. But like I said before, a lot of metal is stored here on these legs. So keep that in mind. The articulation, yes, he has articulation and paw goes out to here. And the same thing they do for the blue is going to be for the yellow. So we're not going to really go into articulation, but I'm just showing you, you know what it can do. This is Voltron. So even in its beginnings, if you want to call it G1, they had pretty decent articulation in a sense for us, somewhat, not all the way, but somewhat for the lions and everything. But he comes with these weapons. And of course, look at the details. And yes, this is when you pick up the lines, like my house was cold because I had air on because it's a little humid. And these things were cold, man. And they were cold, very cold. And then he does not have the same feet articulation like the red and green lines do. And as you can see here, let me tell you how this articulation on the feet are. As you can see, his feet already like kind of slid up and everything. So we're going to get to the yellow lion. Same thing. He's got the mouth blade in. And again, they fit in a groove. These do not open up. I tried, and I think, yeah, they don't open. And if they do, well, shiver me timbers. This does move, but I don't know if it raises. That was one thing. I remember this raising, but it just kind of does that. So that's all it does. And of course, again, the legs are cold. I mean, they're cold because I got air on. And it actually just came on. And it's like the alloy just picks up. And of course, there's the tail. And then finally, we're going to talk about the black line. And we have to talk about the black line because it's very important to talk about the black line. Why? Because of all the lions, he ain't got hardly any die cast. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a nice looking lion, but the head, unfortunately, is always going to look down. And you cannot do anything about it. It's designed that way. Even if you try to turn it, you might break something. But it's because of the neck. So the black lion does suffer from not having enough die cast. Like I think the back thighs, when you play on Voltron or die cast, he does have a nice. I do like the paint work on the wing. The wing backpack. I do like the paint work. I really do. I think that's awesome. The tail. Now I know a lot of people complain about the tail being, where it easily comes off. But there's a reason for that, and that's going to be shown when we do the transformation. The other thing that's cool about this is the articulation on him is bananas. And I wouldn't do this too much because, like I said, if you ever had the Dragon Zord, y'all know the hinges, the right hinge is always broken if you try to buy one. The Soul Chokoken Dragon Zord. It's always, got an issue, but you see it. You see it. You see it. Look at that. Now, the back legs don't do as much, but the front legs do that. And, it does help in Voltron mode. And of course, these are the cannons. All these accessories come with these figures. Now, if you want to get, I don't know how to do the sitting pose. I tried. I think you can, but I couldn't do it. But I do want to show off some hidden articulation. Not hidden. It's just articulation you really can't see. But you have to be careful when you do move these parts. So there's like a little, you might not be able to see because my camera may not be able to pick it up. But there's a hinge underneath here that you have to kind of easily, gently pull. And it should ratchet as you do it. So you got to kind of grab it here. I guess it's kind of hard to do, but you'll hear it. And you can swing the leg forward and you can get like some even more poses. So you can see each leg does that individually and see where it puts the position. And like I said before, be careful. Please be careful. Because like I said before, I'm not seeing all this loot. I don't know. Maybe it's the first batch, but I'm not seeing all this people we're talking about. But anyway, and you do the same thing. You just I kind of grab it right here and just kind of ease it down. And you're going to hear it ratchet. It's tough. And I think it can go further, but there's a groove right there, and that's it. No, I'm not putting any force on this. So you don't have to put force on this, but it does give you a crazy amount of articulation. So with the Black Lion, you can actually do this. You know what I mean? Like, you can really get some pulls. And like I said, that mouthpiece is going to come off and everything like that. So yeah, I love the look of these, and I'm just really happy. I've been happy for about 5 days now, because, you know, y'all know what I gotta go through, but man, just having a Lion Voltron and having Vehicle Voltron together, that's like my childhood all wrapped up in one. So we're gonna pause for the cause. I'm gonna take the accessories off, and we're gonna start the transformation into Voltron. And of course, we'll always be back into N2. All right, we're back by YouTube magic. We're going to put everything into the modes that they're supposed to go into, starting with the arms, of course. We're leaving this out because it's the little spinning weapon that I can never get to work right so far. So we're going to work on that today. So we'll pick a lion because it's the same thing, you know, as first, same as the first. So you want to get this into the robot mode. What is the first thing you do? I start because these panels are tricky. All right. So you want to start here. You're going to put the legs together just like you would Voltron. Like, Voltron is too simple to mess up. Unless you just, if you can't transform Voltron, you don't need to be anywhere near toys. You just suck. Seriously, man. Voltron is too easy. Like, a kid can do it. And we were kids when this came out. So the tails go on here. Like I said, a little bit of parts form it. To transform into the arm, you'd have to take the tail off. Now, I know Soldier Goken didn't do that, but there was an issue with the Black Lion as far as the connection of the arms for the 3.0 version. You probably see early reviews. But it looks like it's been fixed in later batches, and it has been fixed, as a matter of fact. So they didn't just say, oh, we're going to fix it. They actually did. It wasn't like they made an announcement. They just did it. So why I have the legs fit back here? Because we're going to start from the back. And this is the same thing you're going to do for the green line. There's no difference. You see these right here? They're panels. And those panels are going to open up. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But you gotta, you know, because it's a trickery to it. So you gotta move them legs out the way. And then you kind of, oh Lord, now this one wants to be difficult today. Why? Are you serious? Ah, there we go. So you see that panel as it lifts out? You're gonna fold it out this way. And there's a slot there. Now, some people say, oh, it's thin plastic. This ain't no thin plastic, bro. It's hurt. It's not thin, all right? Stop listening to people. They don't know what they're talking about. They had me really thinking that I was getting, you know, going to have to make a lot of concessions. And there are some, but not a whole lot. So now once you lift these up, you're going to fold the legs and put them right here. Just like you would if it's the other Voltron. So why are you going to do that? Because you're going to take this part. You see that? It's going to go into there. There's a slot. And sometimes it ain't easy. But once you get it in, it's in. And same thing on the other side. These are the arm covers. Can you do it without the arm covers? It's possible. But why would you not want to do it? Now, for the front legs, it's going to be the same thing. Get the legs into this position. Take these out. And you'll see there's like a little slide. It's like a slide right there. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. All right. And you got to be careful. You do kind of got to be careful when you opening these because they get stuck. So you got to kind of pay attention because you don't want to break these. Luckily, they're on a sliding hinge. Thank God. But now, and they do slide. Like I say, you definitely need to be careful with these. I really wish they had made these a little bit more tighter. But this is the caveat. If you're not going to play with this all the time. You can play with this, but just be warned, this could be an issue. But it's not thin. It's still not thin. It just looks that way. And I don't, you know, I mean, I guess you could say that because you're spending $300, but it's just, it works. Unless you just want them people that just break up stuff and don't buy toys. All right, so then you want to fold the arms. You kind of want to angle them up this way, the feet. You know, kind of do it like that. And of course you close the mouth. And like I said, yeah, you can just got the wiggle waggle. That's a good thing. So the same thing, you're going to make sure that these flaps fit into those holes. And once the easiest part in getting them to fit in there when you want to do the cover, when you don't do the cover, that's when it's kind of like, yeah, it's a little more difficult going in reverse. So you got an arm, and then of course you fold this down. This is your connector piece. Kind of reminds me of the Solo Chogokian, the Megazord, which we'll be looking at today. Because I know a lot of people always complain at the Megazord, which it did, but there's a toy that came before Voltron that looks just like Voltron. Alright, so that's how you make the red lion, which will be, of course, on the right. I mean, yeah, well, his right, my left. So we got that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the green line. Green line's a little difficult. I don't know, maybe it's because it's that more circular cylinder body. So basically you're going to do the same thing. Fold the legs back. Always pull the legs back because you need that for clearance. Clearance! But you're going to do the same thing. Going to fold the legs in. Unfold this down. Unfold this down. And then make sure that that goes. And the same thing. Last verse, same as reverse, same as the first, as MGO says. And you just kind of, and I always have problems with the green lion. It's mind-boggling how the green lion gives me such grief with me, because nobody likes the green lion. That's right, nobody likes you. But it's the hardest part to do, is to get these things in. And don't try to do this in like semi-light. It is hard. So you gotta you just kind of put that in there. It's gonna be the same thing. Now, once you do that, lean everything forward. Lean these out. So you want to do the same thing. So once you open these up, just kind of, well, it's the legs. Same thing. And this might be sped up. I ain't gonna be doing the same thing twice. Y'all already know what to do. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already showed you what to do. So, and then you just want to fold these down and make sure that they'll kind of, fit in place, but they look so much better than the SOC. And the same thing, you're just gonna fold that down. So now you got two arms. All right, I had to pause real quick. Let's get down to the next line, yellow line. So with the yellow line, there's gonna be a few things that are different. Like I said, a lot less of the hinges and everything. But first things first, we're gonna close the mouth. And when you lift this up to go to foot mode, these will collapse and they will go in. But they will come out automatically, spring-loaded, when you bring the head down. And there's also the back leg right there. And I'll show you that in a minute. And you need them. You can do it without it, but it's probably a good idea. And I did that a little too hard. So basically, some people have the legs differently. The legs should go like this. All right, but again, these legs are shorter than a lot of your Voltrons. A lot of your Voltrons make the legs, the lines, the yellow and blue lines, very long, and that means, there's the height. But you're going to see that these are short. And yes, they do kind of turn and tilt, so you do have that option when you're in the lion mode as well as when you're in robot mode. So, now, it's very simple on this. You're just going to twist that back like that. Twist that back like that, kind of like a butterfly. You're going to take the legs, and it's not a strong joint there, and twist them all the way back. And you want them to go like right there. That's where the leg's gonna go. See how the legs, they should fold in the back like that. Okay? And like I said, sometimes, man, some of the joints are not loose, but some of the joints are a little tighter for my taste. And make sure when you put these legs down that this comes out. That this part comes out. Okay? So just one moment here. I'm gonna show that off. All right, just one moment. All right, I just had to pause real quick. Probably edit that out. I had to check a message there. And then when you do that, like I said, you can do the same thing and make sure that this little splotch gets into there. All right, and you now have a leg, and of course, fold the tail down. All right, so you got yellow leg. Got a yellow leg. Gonna put him in it. We're gonna do the same thing with the blue guy. So, oh, and I forgot. See this thing back here? Right there? Got a little lever, little red thing. Let's open that up. And you need it. Trust me, you need it. I can't stress that enough, that you will need that, because it does rock back a little. So you need that extra oomph, especially when you're on weird surfaces like this. Next thing we're doing is the blue lines. So we're gonna do the same thing. Close the mouth. That the boy say in Charleston, boy, close the mouth. That's round from Chuck. And then after that, you just kind of collapse the legs together. You're gonna fold that up like that. It's gonna be that little piece right there. You just open that right on up. Bye-ya. You go. Almost done now. You ain't done yet. You ain't done yet. And you're gonna do the same thing. And make sure you push the legs. It's not pushing, but just make sure they're in this position, because you don't want to break these, okay? And then after that, you want to do this. Fold these down. And then fold these down. And then fold these down. And then just make sure everything is nice and tight. And then you want to put the clips in there. Make sure they fit. Now, why is it like blue and green are so difficult, man? I don't know why. But you gotta get them just right. And you'll get them in there. See? Same thing on the other side. Oh, so you got somebody keeping eyes on me. You starting that shit again. Let's see. I think you put that there on the other side. And then fold these down. Now, the one thing I forgot was the back. So you see this back right here? Normally, it's going to look like this. This is how it's going to be sealed. I forgot to seal this one up earlier, so you can see it there. See how the back of the leg is? When you put the legs in there, the black line legs in the form of the robot, they're going to go in right there, that little hole, and it goes down. And the same thing on this one too. And you have to kind of pull it up with your fingers. If you got like fingernails like I do, you're good to go. But if you don't, you're gonna have to get a spudger or something. So now you got the legs, and you can see they're small. They're really not big. Now finally on to the black lion. So the black lion is pretty much the easiest. So as you can see, the tail is gone. Why? Listen, it's loose for a reason, and it makes sense when I show you this. Just put the tail in like the box or something, you know, because I hear people crying, your tail comes off. You do worse. You do more for pieces of crap Transformers than for a toy that's made with quality. Trust me. I don't listen to all your reviewers for this so far. Hate y'all. Y'all don't really give this toy justice. Alright. So, getting over a little bit of posability, it does have like a waist ab crunch. So that way you can get the black lion to do poses, and it does have like the twisty. It ain't gonna do a 360, but it's gonna do, you know, a little turn, a little pose. So lift these up, and you're gonna put the tail back up. Now the reason why you don't need that extra piece of tail is look how neat the back is. You just don't need that tail. So then after that, what you're gonna do is go ahead and fold these legs down, and fold the other leg down. Alright, so we're gonna get to the torso. Fold these feet here. You'll see back here he's got these little flaps. Soldier Koken don't got that. That's why you always got that gap. Basically on Soldier Koken you got a gap on the back of the legs, but on this one you don't. Then next you're gonna go ahead and lift these to the side. You see those? Lift them to the side. Take the legs on the front legs and free them out like that, and then you can see there. And then after that you're gonna fold them in here, and fold this side in here as well, and then close these back. And then now, next thing you're going to do is from the back, unfurl these, because you know what's going to happen next. You're going to twist these around so you can form the chest. Alright. Yeah, sometimes you'll hear some things, but don't be alarmed. Okay. Now you got the chest, and, you know, kind of where the head is, and that's the head. So we'll get to that in a minute. And then next thing you know, I'm going to do these wings. And everybody's complaining that, of course, they got the crease in the front. Alright, so the crease in the front, just for every Voltron. Don't know why that is. Don't really care. I'm not going to argue about some damn crease, alright? Alright, so we got this set. Going to put the legs in. Now, there's a red button back here. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to keep it pressed or not, but I do anyway. And you just kind of push it in Wait till it gets in, let it go. And yeah, they do come apart sometimes. Now you got a leg in here. All right. And again, like I said, a lot of this is metal. The majority of the legs are metal. So where the frick they get this light stuff from, I have no idea. You know, and again, you know, you take the same thing, push the legs in. Now, I want to show you guys something before we get to the rest of the figure real quick here. You see this? Are the legs wobbly? Are they swinging back and forth? Oh, get ready, my friends, because you're going to find out how much better this version of the Voltron is for this size. At 10 inches. Not going to go and say this is better than Carbonics. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's for this size. This works. So the arms, how do they go in? So basically you see that right there. You see that hole, and you just kind of, you know, make sure it's tight, and it's tight. See, it's not moving. This part's not moving. All right, I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now I may not be able to show this per se, because like I said before, I really got to get this in view. But same thing for the other arm, and that's it. Let me move it out the way for a second. I gotta make sure it's in. But once it's in, it's tight. Yeah, that's what she said. All right, so now we got almost Voltron, and then, you know, of course, form feet and legs, form the torso, and I'll form, y'all will say it with me, the head. And you'll see here the little depression. Gotta get close to it. See that little depression in the neck? See it? It depresses. Let's see if I can get this in focus. You know, kind of presses in, and that's how the neck folds all the way down the crevice, and then you bring the face down, and then of course bring out the ears. So the snare. Oh god, this thing looks good. This thing is gorgeous, man. This thing is gorgeous, man. This thing is freaking, bruh. When I say, when you put this together, it is not heavy. It is heavy. It has heft. It has plenty of heft, but it's not heavy because, of course, the black line is made of this high quality plastic. But because my only gripe is, I think if they did this, they could have added maybe some die cast, a little bit more die cast in the black line. The black line, to me, lacks of all. Like, even if you pick up the red and the green, as light as they are, they do have that, you know, parts and everything. But other than that, no. So we're gonna have to raise our camera just a little bit. All right, because we're gonna show off this articulation. All right, so as you can see him here, let's get him in frame. Look how he looks. Now, fully articulated, arms go out to here. He's got elbow, you just turn it, and he's got like elbow, he's got, you can turn the heads. I mean, there's so much, excuse me, that you can do with these figures, man. You want to make the arms longer, you can do that. And if you want to make the arms even longer, you can do that. And you can also do that in the line mode if you want. It's just weird, but that's going to extend everything to, you know, give you like more, not looking like he's got short arms. Same thing, just saying that, and pull that out. And he's going to do the exact same thing. You just twist if you want to get that nice arm articulation. And now the thing is, the legs, man, on this thing, you know, look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. And they rock. And they rock. Look at that. I mean, look at this. Soldier Goken's not going to do it. Soldier Goken is not going to do it. Can put the leg all the way back to here. Oh my god. Carbonics is the only other one that's disposable. Okay, I don't care about your Super 7, your Matty Collector, whatever. They suck. I definitely don't want to hear crap about Toyami. They suck. Now, the original Matchbox, or whichever Popey, whichever version you get, the what's the other one? The Soldier Goken, and of course Carbonics. They're great, but this thing, you are not ready for this. You just The reason why you're not ready is because you're not ready to have that conversation, because most of you, some of you, not all of you, I don't want to say that, a lot of you aren't soldier golden collectors. There are a few, but this thing does everything. The articulation, the colors, the fact that they got the head sculpt right, bruh. You want to see how this thing is anime accurate. Look at the side of the head. I want you to look at the side of the head. And they did make the head smaller. As you can see, it's just that profile. That profile is what makes this figure awesome. So, he does come with some stuff, but mainly for your Voltron mode here, for the volume mode. And like I said, we're going to show off a few figures and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap this puppy up. One moment here and get him back in the frame. You get two weapons. You get the sword, sword power, and then you get this, the shield. And the sword has like a soft rubber, but it's painted real well. It's soft rubber, you know, the tip will, you know, that's what I'm not gonna say, but you know, it's durable. Okay. And same thing for this one, you know, same thing for this one, the you know, the shield and everything like that. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking great. All right, so we're going to show how the shield goes in. And basically, you just put the shield in. Now, of course, I told you that there are slots here. So everything, when it comes to the weapon, fits in the slot, which is great. So if we put the weapon here, the slot's going to go right on the top of the mount. And I can't get back to try to show that, but once it's in, it's secure. You see, it's very secure. You can see it right there. Same thing with the sword. It's a little piece right there, a little piece right there that will go into the other hand. And like I said before, there isn't much accessories. These are the last of the accessories that you're going to see, because that's all the hell you need. I mean, I guess he got other stuff, you know, but like I said before, you're about to hear me talk shit about all of the other companies in the 10-inch scale. Again, I'm not going to talk about carbonics. So shut your mouth, okay? I'm coming talking about carbonics. Didn't say anything about carbonics. Don't care you spent $700. Good for you. I don't really give a fuck. And I'm just telling y'all that, because these motherfuckers be pushing these shit. Ain't nobody tell you spend $700 on a toy if you ain't, you know, and then expecting people to be, you know, acting all up about it. Sorry about that, y'all. My camera pretty much was dying, so we gotta hurry up and finish these videos. So this is it. I mean, this is the weapons, and I mean, it's just amazing what you can do. And like I said, when you pick this figure up, I'm gonna show you something. The legs. Now it's gonna do it here, but overall, the legs are sturdy, and that's important for posability and just overall look. And from the back, I mean, it's clean, man. This thing's clean. You just got to push those in, and these little struts, they help. You kind of need them. If you don't, sometimes he might rock back. It's just a gorgeous piece, man. $300. Yeah, it's worth $300, and it's official, you know, license. I think it is, because it's got all the logos on it. So yeah, it's not, you know, it's official. You know, they can call it Voltron. So yeah, it's licensed, and it's ThreeZero. You're getting quality. Look at the head, man. Look at the head. I mean, the head turns. The head does a 360. Yeah, I guess so. I'm scared. I never did it before. Oh Lord, it does a 360. I mean, it's just this thing is, it looks, the silhouette is what sets this off. And I mean, there's no more to be said. We're just gonna go into comparisons with other metallic like soldier Goku figures, and then we're gonna wrap his puppy up. This doesn't need to be like a 40-minute review. So first things first, a lot of people always say that the Megazord was the you know, that they kind of borrowed from the, you know, from Voltron, which I think I heard. I'm not 100% certain that they did. I do believe that they did that. So they, you know, I want to show you something. See this little joking? You want to see? You want to see something? You want to see something? You see that? You see them legs? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, this is heavier. This is way heavy. This thing is on brick. This is brick level. This is brick level toy, brick level toy. But see, y'all don't realize like what we have to go through with these figures. You can't pose these like you can this guy. You can't. This won't stand up straight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much die cast in metal here and everywhere. So it creates this like wobbly experience. Now, when you look at it and it's standing on the shelf, it looks great. And when you go pick it up, legs is just all over the place. But, because so many of us swear up and down, we think Voltron is like the first transforming robot with blue and yellow legs. Nah, bruh. Y'all don't know nothing about your super robots. No, son. Nah, son. Booyah! See, I'm about to hit you with God Sigma. Now, if y'all don't know who God Sigma is, then you don't know who God Sigma... Oh, come on. Alright, we're back. And take a look at this figure. Take a look at them side by side. What do you see? This got wings. He's got a black and red at the top. The only difference is he's got lion arms. And he's got... it's only 3 robots to form God Sigma. It's the blue robot, yellow robot, and you have the black robot, which has extra arms, still and legs, and all that stuff like that. And that's how they form God Sigma. But if you know, this came out a year before Voltron. And yes, see the similarities there? And so, a lot of times in Japan, especially because they have a lot of transforming robots, they will, from time to time, borrow from each other. No, literally. The Megazord is borrowed from Voltron, but Voltron actually technically kind of borrowed from God Sigma. Though it's probably not stated, or if it is, I didn't know about it or read about it. But back in the days, maybe about 30 years ago actually, they used to have model kits for these, the old Bandai. They're archaic. And I never heard of God Sigma until I saw the model kit, and then I was like, wow, it's got blue and yellow like Voltron, you know what I'm saying? But, of course, there's an iconic look to Voltron. But yeah, God Sigma was the first one with blue and yellow, straight up, in red. Man, no joke. This is 81, this is 81, 82. So yeah, they're a year apart. And then the last one that we're going to show off, and then we're going to do the end and rant. And I'm not going to make it very long, because like I said before, it's going to take me a few days to edit this video. Of course, we're going to bring in Solar Chogokin GX88 Dairaga Julia Dairaga Julia. I know my Japanese is terrible. Y'all know what time it is. What you know about that? What y'all know about that? Alright, you had to get them right. Y'all know y'all Japanese robots. Shut up. That's Dairaga. Alright, well, Vehicle Voltron. So, this is Solar Chogokin. This is the ThreeZero. Now, we're going to start rant here, because there's nothing else to be said. It's the 2 guys. They're iconic. End of story. Right? End of story. They're iconic. You can't deny what they do. You just can't. Like, even if you tried, it just wouldn't work. Alright. So, we just want to point that out. Now, this is 2019. I believe the Solar Chogokin GX71, which was, of course, Voltron or Go Lion, came out in 2017. There's been a difference in technology since then when we came out to go with this guy, because this guy actually does a lot for it to be, heinously ridiculed and mocked and all kind of names. Nobody likes the vehicles, but Japan didn't like the vehicles. Dairaga, trust me, Dairaga 15 is, dare I say it, abysmal. And of course, I think we did a better job with our dub of Dairaga 15 into, Voltron than the actual show that it's that bad. It has a lot to do with the concept. But anyway, we're talking about Voltron. Now, this is actually a pinnacle, one of the pinnacles of Solar Chogokin line. And I want to point that out because You're not going to see this too often. It is the pinnacle. It is the absolute positive pinnacle right now. Because if y'all ever handle soldier cooking, y'all already know. I'm going to do it for you one more time, and some of y'all don't believe me. Man, them legs, boy. Legs get on your nerves. But he, for what it's worth, is posable for the, 15, 16 vehicles. That being said, of course, Line Voltron is a gimme. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think these pair better with each other than than probably Solo Chogokin. Okay. Solo Chogokin is, if y'all understand the line, Solo Chogokin line, they don't, they don't base anything off the animation model except maybe colors. The whole purpose of Chogokin is to, soul of Chogokin is to capture the essence of the Chogokin Godaiken line. It has nothing to do with animation, none of that. It's just saying, we're going to take this chunk of metal and make this chunk of metal modernized and more, articulated than it was as an original. Not articulated where it's going to be like this guy, no. But to the point where it's for the modern era. Die Rugger 15 or Vehicle Voltron is an example of that. This is basically improving on the original toy design for Bandai. This is not anime accurate, by the way, because, well, I'll get into that. That's when I do the review for him. But for the only Vehicle Voltron that we have that actually comes together and comes together well, this thing does. Yeah. The Miracle Works has nothing on this. And I know a lot of people want to like Miracle Works, but the truth be told, Miracle Works it was trash, man. Stop playing with yourselves. Golly. The damn thing, you couldn't stand it up. It held by magnets. There's nothing. It's just. And think about what happened during that time. We got that, and then I think we got the Mad Toys or something like that? Not Mad Toys. I know we got the I forget the name of that one that came out, and they did like a dark version, Icarus or something that could separate. That was actually a decent Voltron, but it just lacked, the colors were kind of, it had that weird shading. But it did have those panel covers. They were the first one to actually do that, you know what I'm saying? But the Solo Chogokin GX71 Line Voltron Gold Line is capturing the original toy. And everybody complains, well, you see the arms. That's how the original toy look, okay? That's what Chogokin is going to do. Now, it's up to Bandai to revamp Solo Chogokin so that it can match this new aesthetic. Because if ThreeZero's putting their ring in the hat with this, imagine what they could do if they decide to do this. Or if they decide to do even a Megazord. I would love to see them do that. Because this right here is so nice. It's so nice. I had to take a sip of my root beer, man. And it's zero sugar for y'all, boy. Because I'm a diabetic, but I don't suffer from diabetes anymore. I kind of got rid of that shit. But yeah, there's so much in the Solo Chogokin line that people compare it to, and then you're going to step up the carbonics for this bad boy. So just to give you an understanding, this is, like I said before, it's heavy. It's heavy. But this is heavy too. Just not in the sense, it's not light. I don't want you to get this, because I got the impression when I picked this up, this thing was going to be like a paperweight. It's so light. No, it's not light. But if you hold any one of your Chogokin toys and pick this up, this will feel light. But this got weight. He's got the legs of metal. What the heck are y'all talking about? Yes, I can see why the line is not, but there's good reason for that. See, Metamorphose Variation did the same thing with I haven't reviewed him yet. I have God Sigma Gravion. I love saying that. Gravion! Anyway, it's a mix of metal and a mix of the same, like plastic. And I think the plastic on here is better than the plastic on the Gravion. But when you put it all together and you realize everything, it's posable, it's got jets for feet, practically, and they're heavy as hell. But that's the way you want to go. And it helps in the long run. So everybody's like, oh, no. Metal rust. But if you got plastic mixed with metal. You got this nice cohesiveness. It's going to work, and it's going to be stable, and it's going to have stability. Yes, and I was saying stable and stability. Now, I want y'all to get the essence of how stable this thing is. The only gripe that I know a lot of people have is the waist. And the waist in particular is not painted right or something. It's supposed to have like a red stripe. Who cares? Like, really, I don't know, whatever. But look at it. And you're going to tell me that this thing does not look good. And in your opinion, you're going to compare it to Carbonics. Now, Carbonics. What is Carbonics going to do for you? Carbonics is basically a giant Voltron. It's 15, 16 inches. So, hey, that means a lot in this world. Oh, I tell you what, ladies give you no grief, right? Anyway, don't worry about it. No woman, no cry, as they say. As the Rastafarians tradition, they don't even worry about anything. You're not supposed to fear nothing. Anyway, that's just a little side rant for you people that's going through some things, man. Don't fear nothing. Just live. You ain't got but one. Live it well. Now, and I like I said before, other people went for theirs, lied about it. I'm going for mine. That's a story for another day. Anyway, I just can't express how great this is. How this thing is great. We're going to get to the flaws in a minute, but it's great. Carbonics is probably the premium, and I say the premium like that is the top of the line for the Voltrons. Matty Collector, that giant piece of crap. Toyami's crap. They're crap, okay? But if you're looking for a nice solid metal chunk of Voltron, get the Carbonics for that size. All right, my camera keeps cutting off, and I think I'm going to have to stop this. So I'm going to make this real short and try to clean this up. Of all the other Voltrons that are released, exception of Carbonics, because Carbonics is the top of the line, but it's bigger. This is not going to scale with the other Solar Chogokin figures that you have if you're trying to match this up. I would not go for Solar Chogokin. I would go for this one. He is a tad bit shorter, but that's just because of the legs. The proportions are right. The posability is right. It is the right amount of heft. $300. It's better than Solar Chogokin. You will thank me. Trust me. You run out and get Solar Chogokin, knock yourself out. It's a good one. This is better. Now, I'm going to talk about the bad things that I noticed, and then after that, we're going to close this out. So the bad things that I noticed is some of the parts do come off, but not broke off, but they do come off. One of the weapons got stuck in the slot for the Yellow Lion, and the piece of weapon came off. I didn't realize it as it's on the video, and I'll show it if I didn't delete it. What else? I had a back piece fall. This part right here came off on the back, like it just wasn't glued on all the way, so I fixed that. Let's see. I can't really think of anything. I just can say that, that's about all I can think of. But no, he's pretty good. He's really, really, really solid. Tolerances and clearances, everything is all there. Final height check, and then we'll call it a night. He is 10.5 inches tall, 10.6, a little close to 11, and a head shorter than Solar Chogokin. So if you want this size, get this one. If you want a bigger size, get Carbonics. They are the two Voltrons now. These are the two modern Voltrons, and like I said before, Carbonics puts everything on a higher level. I'm going to say it. Puts on a higher level. If you want something that's a little more affordable, a little smaller, and almost does as much, but not all the electronics and other bells and whistles, ThreeZero. End of discussion. So this is the last review I'm going to do for quite some time. I'm mostly going to do news videos. I really don't want to do reviews. The next time I do a review, people will have to pay for it. It's going to go on a, I think I'm going to start memberships. And when I do, these long format videos, if I do any, they're going there. Everything else is going to be news. So look out for that real soon. So this is Super Robot Ed telling you to go buy this figure. Not to tomorrow, but today before the price goes up. And we'll see you soon with more news and reviews. Until then, bye-bye.